Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is Amy from With Love by Amy, and today we are making a card that I've never made before. This is a white on white card with no other colors, and it is inspired by a card that I saw from Scrappy Hour blog on Pinterest, and I will link her below. Maybe she has a YouTube channel too, and I can tag her in the video. We'll see. So the stuff that I decided to use, the supplies, I decided to use the basic flower stamp and die, which I only use the die from Ink Road Stamps. And then I also decided for my sentiment that I was going to use the Happy Script die from Mama Elephant. I don't know that either of these products are available anymore. I'm not sure. So, but any flower die that you have and any sentiment you have would work. I really wanted to have a love sentiment, but I did not, so I used what I had. This is, crafting this year is pretty much all about using what's in my stash and minimal spending, so that's what we're doing. And I am, after I die cut these out, I double die cut them, and weeding the die cuts, honestly, was the most time involved process part of this card, was weeding the die cuts, because there's really not much to it. I think it's a stunning card in the end, but there's not much to it besides stacking and gluing the die cuts and then adhering them to the front of your card. So all in all, it's a pretty simple card, but I think it's absolutely stunning. And the card that inspired this one from Scrappy Hour blog, she used a different floral die, which I don't have. This is honestly the only large floral die that I have. So, work with what you got. And I love the results. But honestly, weeding this floral die, and I think it probably would happen with any floral die, would take so much time. That's honestly what took so long, because that's what is taking me forever here, is weeding the dies. It did take a couple passes through the die cut machine because I used 110-pound cardstock. I did make sure that I used the same cardstock for the die cuts as I did for the card base, because I know that every white cardstock has a little bit of a different tint to it, kind of. So I did want to make sure that I used the same cardstock, and I used 110-pound Neenah Solar Classic Crest cardstock for the card base, and that is what the die cuts were used. I did 2 layers of the die cuts. As you can see here, it's taking me forever to weed this one and stuff, but I think the results turned out fantastic, and I definitely thought that using heavier cardstock was worth it, because it made the die cuts stand out a little bit more, because I think that with it being a white on white card, you definitely need the dimension that you get with the heavier cardstock, just so it looks a little more distinguished, I think, or, what defined, whatever. But yeah, the weeding of the die cuts, honestly, the whole card probably, if I would have not weeded the die cuts, like if I would have used a pre-cut flower or something, yeah, that would have taken me like 3 minutes to make the whole card, because not too involved, but very, very stunning end results. So yeah, let me know what die cut you would use for a flower to do this technique. And is there one that maybe wouldn't take so much weeding, or do you have any tips or tricks for getting the die cuts to clean out a little easier? Let me know in the comments below if you have anything to help me out with this, because I like the results, but the time-consumingness of the card assembly was kind of a pain in the butt. But I do really appreciate having the fine-tip glue bottle, because that made it so much easier to not make a giant mess with the glue. And we are just going to glue the die cuts together, and I'm going to use my Make Art Station to hold them together while they dry, because I don't want them to get like offset at all, because that would make it look a little messy. All right, so let me know in the comments below what you would do for a monochromatic color scheme. Like, do you think that this would work with other colors? Should I try it with like black maybe, or would it work with pink or gray? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I've never seen this in any other color scheme. This was honestly the first time I've seen a white on white card. I really like it, and I think it'll be fun to give someone for any occasion, basically. I think it could make a cool wedding card or a birthday card. Just depends. But my thought process was, if I had a love sentiment die cut, that it would have been a wedding card or an anniversary card, because the theme of this hop that we're doing for Team Tiny is supposed to be a love, or like a wedding theme or a special occasion. I mean, personally, to me, birthdays are a special occasion. Let's be honest. Birthdays are a big deal in our house. So yeah. I'm trying really hard to get these two sentiments to line up when I'm gluing them together because they just kind of don't want to stay. So they don't look as crisp as the flowers do for some reason. I'm not sure why, but they don't. All right, so now that the sentiments are dry and the flowers are dry, we are going to glue them to the card panel. I didn't put them on just a card panel. I just put them on the card base themselves, just to keep like the weight down in case I do actually end up mailing this. I didn't want it to be too thick and bulky. So we're just dabbing glue all around the flower. And I know in the example card, she did a larger flower that she put over the edge and then she trimmed it off at the edge of the card. But because this one wasn't as large as the one that she used, I chose to just keep it all on the front of the card. And I think it worked out well. I think this is the direction it should be going. I don't know. Looks okay to me. So I'm going to put it on there, squish it down. And I really like this magnetic ruler that came with my Make Art station because it is very helpful to be able to like see what you're gluing down. And it works well if you're doing like a sentiment out of different letters, like individual letters. It works really well because then you can just pick it up when you stick down the next letter and stick it back down. You can see that nothing's moved. So it's pretty awesome. All right, so now the card is basically done. I am going to stamp the back of it with my brand new personalized contact info card. And it has all my social media stuff on it and my email address, which I think is really helpful because if I don't really try to sell my cards, but if I give them away, then people can get a hold of me. All right, so here's the final card. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out some of these other videos that you may enjoy. And stop back soon. Have a great day. Bye.